morning, everyone. It's Robert from My Turntable. Hope you had a great morning this morning. It is Wednesday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. So last night I watched a documentary about the Hollies on Prime. Awesome documentary. Graham Nash was through most of it, obviously. Allan Clarke, Tony Hicks, all the players were there. Not together, each individual interviews, but really good perspective of the band, how they began, what the trials and tribulations they went through, the huge hits they had, how they come up with tracks and songs, ideas for songs. Everyone contributed. Awesome documentary. I highly recommend it on Prime. So I thought I'd show my Hollies collection. It's not a huge collection, but I like most of the albums that I have there for sure. So huge English rock and pop, mostly pop, band formed in '62. One of the leading British groups of the '60s and the mid '70s, and known for their distinctive three-part vocal harmony style. Originally, they were two-part, Graham Nash and Allan Clarke sharing vocals, and then Tony Hicks started to sing as well, discovered that he could sing, so they became a three-part harmony band, which just made them exclusive to any other band out there for sure, other than Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But that was later on in life. Speaking of, Nash left the group in '68 to form Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But he reunited with the Hollies on occasion. But the band was formed by Allan Clarke and Graham Nash way back in Manchester. They've known each other since they were 6 years old. So Graham Nash said, the only bad thing about leaving the group is I was leaving my friend, Allan Clarke. But he wanted to move to America. He wanted to do things differently. He got tired of the, I don't want to say the same old of the band, but he wanted something fresh and new, and he felt stagnant. I think the band is still friends with everyone. I don't know that. They didn't really come into that in the documentary, but yeah, cool stuff. So you've got Graham Nash, Allan Clarke, lead guitarist Tony Hicks, rhythm guitarist Terry Sylvester, who replaced Graham Nash, bassist Eric Haydock, and Bernie Calvert. I think Bernie started first, and then Eric Haydock later. And then you had drummers Don Rathbone and Bobby Elliott. Don Rathbone just didn't have the chops, so they brought in Bobby Elliott, who really just pounded the crap out of the drums. They've had huge success. Just one look. Here I go again. I'm alive. Look through any window. I can't go. Bus stop. Wow. Stop. On a carousel. Carrie Ann. Written about Marianne Faithfull. He Ain't Heavy. He's My Brother. Beautiful track. And then the big hit, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. The Air That I Breathe. He Ain't Heavy. Reached number one in the UK charts. And then overall, the Hollies had 30 chart singles in the UK charts, and also on the Billboard 100 charts. So huge band full of awesome singles. They're still around. They haven't departed. They're still together. And then they were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010, which was kind of cool. So I don't have everything, as I said. I've got Evolution, real psychedelic cover. Evolution 1967 release. All the songs were written by Allan Clarke, Graham Nash, and Tony Hicks. And none of the songs on the album were any singles, except Carrie Ann, which made a huge hit in the States. Became a big hit. Bobby Elliott only played 3 songs on the album due to appendicitis. So they brought in Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience, along with Doogie Wright and Clem Catini. So 3 drummers to replace 1. I don't know. But, yeah, awesome stuff. You got Allan Clarke on vocals and harmonica, Tony Hicks on lead guitar and vocals. Great guitarist, by the way, Tony Hicks. Graham Nash on rhythm guitar and vocals. Bobby Elliott on drums on the tracks When Your Light Turns Out, Have You Ever Loved Somebody, and Lullaby to Tim. Bernie Calvert on bass guitar and harpsichord on Ye Old Toffee Shop. Then Dougie Wright, Mitch Mitchell, and Clem Catini played drums on the rest of the tracks. And then a very, 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 very young Elton John, who got 12 pounds, I think, to play on the recording. Played piano on Water on the Brain and Hammond organ on You Need Love. Tony Hicks said if we had to pay him today, it wouldn't be 12 pounds for sure. But great early album by the band. Love it. Then you've got 1971's Distant Light. A beautiful cover. Their 11th UK album. Their last album to feature Allan Clarke. He would leave to record a solo album. He actually asked the band, can I record a solo album, or do you mind if I record a solo album? The band said, no, you got to leave the band. We don't want you recording. So he was kind of shocked by that, but he left anyway. But awesome album. Recording features guest appearance by none other than Gary Brooker from Procol Harum, Mick Abrams, the original Jethro Tull guitarist, saxophonist Jim Jewell, and then they got backing vocals by Madeline Bell, Doris Troy, and Lisa Strike. It's got the big hit. I don't know if they were only number 1 or number 2 hit in Canada. Number one in Canada, number 2 in the States. Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. Probably the most rockin' tune that they put out. It was the Hollies' biggest American hit ever. Awesome stuff. Actually, Allan Clarke, because Tony Hicks couldn't get the licks right on the opening guitar lick, so Allan Clarke actually played that. Damn good player. But what a classic track that was. Again, Mick Abrams and Gary Brooker, and yeah, what an awesome album. Awesome album. Then you've got Romany, 12th studio album, the UK album by the Hollies. The first not to have Allan Clarke on it. He had left to start a solo career, as I said. So they brought in Swedish singer Mikael Rickfors. But no harmonies on this one, or very few harmonies on this one. But upon its release, it sold 6 times more copies than any other album that they put out. It was just, I don't know if people were surprised, or what they wanted to discover what the songs would sound like. But yeah, this is the UK version. There was a US version with different track listings. So you got Won't We Feel Good That Morning, Touch, written by Mikael Rickfors, Words Don't Come Easy, Magic Woman, Touch, Lisa and the Rain Man, Downriver, Slow Down, Delaware Taggart and the Outlaw Boys, Jesus Was a Crossmaker, Romany, the title track, Blue in the Morning, and Courage of Your Convictions. But beautiful album. Then I have Another Night. Allan Clarke is back at this time. This is the second album after his return to the band. 1975 release. And everything was written by the band except for 4th of July, Ashbury Park, by Bruce Springsteen. They did a cover of that one. But great stuff. Bernie Calvert had some illnesses going on, so Tony Hicks played some bass parts on the album. But decent album for sure. You got the regular the regular bunch of guys. Alan Parsons plays synth on this one as well. But good album. Good album. Then I've got a compilation that came out just after that, 1977 release. Not too many hits on this one. You do have Sandy, which became a minor hit. Nothing major. They wanted it to be a big hit, but it didn't really become that big of a hit. You got 48 Hour Parallel, Thanks for the Memories, My Love, Star, Russian Roulette, Dragging My Heels, Love is the Thing, It Won't Move Along, and Right On. It's called Clarke, Hicks, Sylvester, Calvert, and Elliott. Again, 1977 comp. But glad to have it. I don't know where I got this one. But, yeah, cool stuff. Then I've got a later album. I don't really like the cover of this one. But kind of a hokey cover, for sure. This is a Crazy Steel, 1978 release. This has a version of Emmylou Harris's Boulder to Birmingham on it. And then you got Hello to Romance, Amnesty, Writing on the Wall. And what else is on here? What Am I Gonna Do? Let It Pour. Caracas. Clown Service. Feet on the Ground. After this one, Allan Clarke would leave again, but then he came back a few months later. I don't know why he left. They didn't really mention that he left twice, but Bernie Calvert said, the bassist, said it was a difficult period for the band. Allan Clarke was going through some stuff, had a great deal of problems. They toured Germany, and the record company was pushing to get the product on the market. The cover was rushed. That's why there's a crappy cover on here. Whole thing was a rushed project, and it doesn't do the band or the album their dues, but it's a decent album. You know, classic Hollies for sure. Classic Hollies. And then I've got that's it for my Hollies albums. I do have Allan Clarke's Legendary Heroes as one of his solo projects, 1979 release. This one's got Lipstream, The Only Ones, Wall, Brandenburg Plaza, The Survivor, Driving the Doomsday Cars, Baby Blue, Sanctuary, Imagination's Child, and the title track, Legendary Heroes. Kind of a weird photo in the back. I don't know why he's doing that. Anyway. Allan Clarke wrote all the songs. You've got Richard Bennett on electric and acoustic and lead guitars. All keyboards, Tony Hensley. And then you've got Billy Thorpe, who plays piano on The Survivor. Sorry, piano. Electric guitar solo on The Survivor. Don Roan on rhythm guitar. Bass, Mike Porcaro. Drums, David Kemper. But decent album overall. I prefer the Hollies. And then I've got Songs for the Beginners, the debut album by Graham Nash, 1971 release. This has a ton of guest artists on this one. You've got who else you've got in here? You've got David Crosby, Jerry Garcia, Phil Lesh, Dave Mason, Dave Lindley, Rita Coolidge, Neil Young. So many guest stars. Neil Young was under the pseudonym Joe Yankee. And it's a good album. Good album. It was about his kind of a sad album as well, because he had broke up with his girlfriend Joni Mitchell. So a lot of the songs were about his time together. And Wounded Bird, the track was written for Stephen Stills. He was going through a relationship with Judy Collins. Better Days was written for Stephen Stills after Rita Coolidge left him for Graham Nash. Decent album. So there you have it, guys. There's my Hollies collection for what it is. Great band. If you can see that documentary on Prime, definitely check it out. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great documentary of a great band for sure. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.